Throughout history, there have been many different torture methods used to inflict pain and suffering. Some of these methods were used inside of private torture chambers, such as within the walls of the Tower of London, in the basement of the oldest part, the White Tower, where prisoners were racked to within an inch of their lives. But much torture and punishment was done in public. For example, in English towns and cities, the pillory and the stocks were used to shame someone who was suspected of committing a crime or causing problems and issues in the settlement. The ordeal of the victim could be made worse by the crowd, especially if they were not well liked, as they could have stones and other objects thrown at them, which would cause pain and sometimes serious injury. One torture device which was aimed to cause a huge amount of embarrassment was known as a barrel, or the Schandmantel, and this was also known as a coat of shame. Welcome to the fortress. To support our channel, please make sure to subscribe. Schandmantels, or the coat or barrel of shame, were also known throughout history as a Spanish coat, and this device began to be used in the 13th century. They were made from wood and were lined with metal like a barrel would be, and the punishment would occur upon someone as they were made to parade and walk around in public with this huge barrel structure on them. It was similar to how the skull's bridle was used upon women who gossiped and caused problems, and the barrel was aimed to humiliate and make someone look ridiculous, as well as cause a significant amount of discomfort. The victim would often be insulted, and at the top of the structure was sometimes a bell, which as someone moved around would ring, and people would then be summoned to throw items and hurl abuse at a person in the barrel. The bell was there to get as many people as possible to make the suffering worse, and usually large crowds would gather. It was used inside of Germany and other European lands to punish people for a large number of crimes, including poaching, and those women who were soliciting services in the night. But there were other devices which were very similar to the barrel of shame, and often heavy stones were placed around the neck to weigh the barrel down, causing a significant amount of pain on the shoulders of the individual, and as it was a weighted device, there would be a lot of strain placed on the back, making the Schandmantel much more of a torture ordeal than just a method of public humiliation. It's very similar in its use to what was known as a drunkard's cloak in England, and this was a barrel which a man who was considered to have been heavily intoxicated was forced to wear. It became a civil offence to be drunk in public under the Alehouses Act of 1551, and the drunkard's cloak allegedly originated in the north of the country, and one traveller claimed he had seen men drove up and down the streets with a great tub or barrel opened in the sides with a hole in one end to put through their heads to cover their shoulders and bodies, down to the small of their legs, then the clothes the same, called the new-fashioned cloak, and so make them march to the view of all beholders, and this is a punishment for drunkards or the like. Similar devices such as these barrels were seen across England and also in the Netherlands, and the drunkard's cloak was also intended to have been a method of public humiliation to shame the person into not being drunk in public again. But Schandmantels were a form of public humiliation which did inflict a significant amount of pain onto the person inside the device, and it also caused a lot of aches and pains, and someone could be subjected to this for some time. It was used from the 13th century for many years after that. Thanks for watching. To support our channel, please make sure to subscribe, and once again, thank you so much for watching.